Joining us right now is the Deputy Chief Minister of Haryana, Dushyant Chautala. Just for perspective, Haryana's cabinet has now approved a draft ordinance allowing for 75% reservation for people from Haryana, even in the private sector. So Dushyant Chautala, if you could, for the benefit of our viewers, just explain what does this mean? Does this mean that all private entities, all companies who are operating from Haryana will have to compulsorily and mandatorily comply to this 75% rule once this ordinance is clear?
I'll just clarify that. Good question. I think this is the need of an hour that to explain to people that any employment that will be created as the governor gives his contest for the ordinance will, if create a single job, will have that from Haryana. If creates 4 jobs, then 3 out of those 4 jobs would be from Haryana. Nobody who's already employed will get unemployed. One clarification that I need to. But yes, in the future, if it is a partnership firm, it is a LLP, it is a society, it is a trust, it is any industry in Haryana, in future, any employment generated, yes, 1 out of 4 can be from other state, but 3 jobs will be from the state of Haryana. And for that, state of Haryana has already geared up. We have created 2 portals in the state where we will give talented youth directly from college and universities to the private industry. We will skill them according to the demand of industry, and for the future, that will help our generations to get proper employment within the state of Haryana.
Dushyant, how would you respond to allegations that this is very inward-looking and regressive? For instance,
I would like to clarify that it is not inward-looking. We have seen 11 states who have had acts like such. In case of Himachal, there have been 2 districts which are limited to 70 and other districts are limited to 90%. Uttarakhand is already, Gujarat is 80%, Maharashtra is 80%. Whereas Telangana and Andhra is 75%, and I think it is the need of an hour. Taking GST into consideration, we need to create employment within our state to have that consumption and that tax coming in. I think looking at all these aspects, Haryana took a call, and I think it will be betterment for our generations in the coming future. If we have educated youth, if they are talented, we need to get them employed. We are in a glass ceiling over the past years, where companies such as Maruti, which earlier had 92% of its employees from Haryana, doesn't even have 20% of employees from Haryana today. And I think those are basic skilled jobs where you have multiple IITs in the state of Haryana. And I think Maruti or Honda or Hero or any other company needs to adopt those IITs to train kids to come and work in their companies from within the state.
You know, that's exactly why I ask you this question, Dushyant, because many of these companies will bring in the aspect of being competent. It could be a case that these private entities are not hiring people locally because they feel that they are not competent enough. No, so if you mandate it by law, are you not forcing these private companies to a diktat?
We are not mandating anything that is above the salary grade of 50,000 per month. But somebody who's working can be, I think, at a skill level of basic skills. And taking somebody from the state at basic skill level will not. If Maruti had 92% people, and suddenly after that one incident in Maruti, that level from 92 went to 20%. That made it a glass ceiling that was created, which did hinder employment for the people of Haryana. And I think it happened with Hero Honda in the 2008 incident. I think it happened with some other companies after Jat agitation. And I think these things need to be overcome now. And I think for that, such act was mandatory, and we got it done.
Dushyant, is this rule or this ordinance applicable on specific sectors and specific jobs, or is this going to be applicable on all sectors? For instance, the IT sector, the automobile sector.
As of today, yes, it is applicable on all sectors. But if in the future, if there is a problem that comes up in front of us that in certain like construction sector, where we cannot have people who bind steel for building that specifically come from the state of Bengal. We cannot have that talent being created in 2 minutes. For example, somebody who is doing the plastering work of a building, they are majority employees who come in from Madhya Pradesh or Rajasthan. We have given the power to Labour Commissioner who can give exemptions to such sector. But yeah, if there is IT sector and we have capable candidates who can compete, so there'll be a priority for people. If there is from the mechanical sector, or if I talk about sectors such as automobiles, R&D, yes, we will give priority to candidates who are from the state of Haryana.
Now, Dushyant, you mentioned that this is applicable on all sectors, but there will be some sort of a gradation depending on what sort of skill set you can prepare, right? Do you feel that this is going to create an extra layer of bureaucracy? For instance, that now if a company can hire directly, it will have to go through the process of having to explain the government that look, here is where we cannot find a suitable skill set in the state, and that's why we are having to go out. Do you think that could perhaps become very frustrating for these private players? The intervention of the government?
I'll correct you. In the initial part, I said we have already developed 2 portals where we will provide skilled, talented these companies. And I think that is a benchmark where no states provide that. States have laws. You can see departments running around. We are not letting the department run around these companies, but we will provide them help where people who are coming in for our competitive exams, who are going into civil services exams, those talented youth can be drafted by companies. And I think if private companies get that help, today also during lockdown, we have given at least 5,000 employees to different employers with specific skills through our Saksham portal. So I think these things need to be developed, and I think in the coming future, government.
I agree, Dushyant. But you know, what you seem to suggest appears as if this is a government-sponsored placement agency. That if private players want a specific type of talent, they will have a talent pool from where they can get these people.
So that will be if a company has its own HR team, and if they can draft, we can only be a support to that HR team. But if somebody doesn't have, we can always provide help to that.
But that's
and
exactly
it will only be in terms of new employment. We are not unemploying anybody.
Okay,
If
but
there
again,
is a job
even for the new employment, say for instance, in your state, in Gurugram, there is a software company that wants to set its base, and it has its own internal rules that, we need this specific gradation of employees, this particular skill set. If you cannot provide that skill set, then does this rule not put that software company to a disadvantage? And I'm asking you this because Gurugram is the capital of IT, software, these big MNCs.
I would thank you for asking this. If somebody with that high skill set will not join a company below a salary grade of 50,000. So if somebody is working below a salary grade of 50,000, I think that skill set can easily be provided within our state. If somebody is looking for somebody who is getting paid 10 lakh rupees per month, he is open to any employment.
So last word, you're saying that this rule is only applicable to people who will be earning 50,000 or less, correct?
Yes, and this is the only thing that discussed within our cabinet, that we have to create specifically to the blue collar jobs. We have to create employment within the state. Therefore, the GST also is secured within the state.
Okay. All right. Dushyant Chautala, many thanks. I'm sure this will clarify and also clear some doubts regarding this new rule or this new ordinance, which is being dubbed as controversial. Thank you so much for answering all those questions.
Thank you.